So while black residents are having their property tax bills doubled, while simultaneously closing schools in black neighborhoods, all while black children can't read or write proficiently, guess what the Chicago Teachers Union is doing with all of this tax money? Spending $8 million on luxury trips. Take a look.
Terrell, the new report from the Office of Inspector General points to what it calls questionable excessive spending on overnight trips for CPS employees, including staff excursions to places like Egypt, Finland, and South Africa. This morning, the oversight body Watchdog urging Chicago Public Schools to reform its travel policies after the Office of Inspector General found CPS travel expenditures surged to $7.7 million last year. That's more than double what the district spent 5 years prior before the pandemic. The report states CPS staffers repeatedly exceeded spending limits and expensed trips and activities without approval, including a professional development conference in Las Vegas that more than 600 employees attended between 2022 and 2024, spending more than $1.5 million in district dollars. Nearly 90% of attendees stayed in hotels exceeding CPS spending limits. The Watchdog Group also found about 40% of all conference attendees traveled without receiving approval. This all while CPS faced a $734 million deficit this year.
So while the Chicago Teachers Union is running at a $734 million deficit, they spent almost $8 million on luxury trips. How would they ever get away with this, you might ask? Well, because Brandon Johnson used to be a member of the Chicago Teachers Union. All of this while they demand more money for Chicago public schools, which are already some of the most funded per pupil schools in America. Brandon Johnson is the true house inward, not people like me or other black conservatives. This guy is selling out the black community, their access to home ownership, and their children's future at the behest of an elite, coastal, white, extremely progressive agenda. But Brandon Johnson, being the good socialist that he is, came up with a few ideas for how to raise some revenue to deal with this budget shortfall. What were his ideas? Taxing social media companies 50 cents per user, increasing the cloud tax. So any business in Chicago that uses software, well, now every piece of software you use in your business is more expensive because Brandon Johnson wants to give illegals free healthcare, obviously.